Hi, my name is JC and I am an intern here at our agency. Before we get started, is there a certain way you would like for me to address you as?
Abel's one.
Okay, Abel. Now, before we get started, I would like to talk about confidentiality and what it means. So, during our meetings, anything that is said between you and I stays between these four walls. I want you to feel comfortable in expressing yourselves when you come to our meetings. And I also need you to know that any information that will ever be revealed will be just because I feel or I see that you are at harm towards yourself or you are at harm towards anybody else. So is that clear? Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. So let's start with some questions that I want to ask about your family. And tell me a little bit about your family's cultural, any traditions that you guys have.
Um, yes, and for Christmas, for example, it's just an example. For Christmas, we stay up until 12, and we open up our gifts when the clock hits 12, and then we celebrate for the rest of the night, and then we continue on with the next day being Christmas, like it's a regular day. That's one example. That's one tradition. For example, excuse me.
Okay, so your family does that during Christmas.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and that's something that's very important for you?
It's not that it's so important, but it's just something we've been doing since we were all little kids. So it's kind of building to that point. Yes.
Okay. All right, and is there any religion in your family?
Yes, we are Catholic.
Catholic.
Yes, Catholic.
All right. And do you know how your family feels about gender identity?
Um,
And it's okay if you don't want to answer a question. You can just say, I prefer not to talk
Yeah.
about it.
yeah, it's. Yeah, I prefer to not talk about that subject strictly because everyone's opinion is different, and someone might get offended by someone else's opinion, and I don't want to offend anyone.
Okay, and that's completely fine, Abel, okay? My next question is, how has your culture impacted you? Has it impacted you negatively or positively?
I believe in both positive and negative. Positive because I come from a very hardworking family. Excuse me. All since my uncles, for example, were all little boys, they all left out of school and they started working at a very young age, including my father, as well as my mother's side of the family. So it's just I was raised around that type of culture. And negative because I am of Hispanic descent, I am Latino, and the way society might treat some Hispanic people is kind of negative in some sort.
Okay, so there's definitely some negative and positive in
Negatives
there.
and positive, yes.
Okay. All right. And what are some of your values that you would like to continue on with from your family?
It's first and foremost my ethic, strictly because not being the best student in school, not being the highest of my class, I had a really hard time struggling with school, but I always had a gift and it was working with my hands. So the day that I do have, for example, a kid, he will carry on the culture and I would say legacy.
Okay. And are you working right now?
Yes, I am.
And what do you work as?
I am a 3-year apprentice at this company called the Plumbing Artisans. We work plumbing and heating.
Okay. All right. Is there anything in your family's tradition that you would like to change?
No, honestly no, because it wouldn't be the way it is if stuff was changed. So I like the way it is.
Okay, so you like the way that your family's tradition is. Okay.
Yes.
All right, Abel. So, what event in your life has influenced your identity or has impacted you recently?
Could it be positive or negative?
You can whichever one you want. It could be negatively or positive. Something that has impacted you.
I would say losing a friend in a negative way, strictly because you never really know who has your back, which kind of sucks.
Okay. And that friend, was that friend really close to you?
Yes.
Okay. And how do you feel about losing that friend?
I prefer to not get into details about that.
Okay, that's okay. And is there any other event that has influenced you positively?
I graduated from high school not too long ago, and I was really proud of myself for making that achievement. Strictly because, like I've already informed you, I struggled a lot with school growing up.
Okay. All right. And Abel, who do you live with right now?
I live with my dad and my girlfriend.
Your dad and your girlfriend.
Yes.
Okay. And do you have a really close relationship with your father?
It's on and off. It's an on and off love-hate relationship.
Would you like to talk about why it's that type of relationship?
Strictly because my father and my mother have recently divorced, so he has been in a world of emotions, and it's been difficult for him.
Okay, has been difficult. All right. And all right. So Abel, we have a few more minutes left. Is there any concerns or any questions you would like to mention?
For example, if I'm just having a lot of stuff on my mind and a really troubled week, could I call the agency and speak to one of you guys?
Yeah, of course. I see that you scheduled an appointment for tomorrow, so whenever you feel a need to make an appointment, you can. If you're okay with us talking tomorrow about what it is you're feeling with your parents' divorce, we can definitely talk about that more tomorrow. And other than that, we have covered everything for today, and thank you for expressing yourself, and we will see each other tomorrow, Abel, okay?
Tomorrow at what time?
3 p.m. Is
Okay.
that okay?
Yes, that's perfect.
Okay.